Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. It's your boy Cam Up Podcast here. Okay, so listen, Superhead is back out on the podcast. I don't know, is her name Corin? I don't know, but we all know who Superhead is. That was the nickname or whatever. And you see the title, and it's Body Count Matters. Body count matters for everybody. Period. So if you're young in life, if you want a family, body count matters. I'm going to play some clips. And for any man or woman, but since she's talking to women about whatever she's talking about, uh, ladies, body counts matter. Period. She's going to explain to you why the body count matters. And that's why you see so many older single women complaining about good guys and they can't make up their mind. And now there is one thing that she did say that I agree with, but it also leads back into body count matters. Now she made an extreme case, but I'm gonna play two or three clips. They're not that long, um, but let me switch my screen. There we go. And I'm gonna play the two or three clips. I wrote down the times, so let's get into it.
It's not the first. Remember when Ray J was like, "I hit it first." Like,
Yeah.
it ain't cute to be the first. That's not the cute one.
Mm.
It's the last. Who's good enough to be the last? The first is easy. I'm experimenting, bro. Of course you were the first. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know. It's fine. But if I'm an experienced woman who has done my sexual due diligence, who has dated and kissed all the frogs, and then you are the prince and you get to be the last one, you're the one who lets me see that I don't want any of that, and I'm gonna stay right here. Like you're it.
Now listen. There's a lot that she said right there. Okay, there's a lot of what she said right there. It's not cute to be the first. That's cap. That's actually how it's supposed to be. In an ideal world, two people first experience should be with each other. That's how you grow together. That's how you explore together. That's how you learn to satisfy each other. That's the main thing. That's in an ideal world. Like two people that don't know what they're doing. Hello, figure it out. All right. The only problem is that we're in America, and America is starting to have no standards and no social cues about anything. You know what I'm saying? But as, as far as who's the last in America, nice guys finish last most of the time, and that's what the problem is. Guys aren't saying don't do whatever you do. Guys are saying do whatever that you're gonna do. I have to. I have a different set of standards for somebody that's been around, right? But on the flip side, guys are also saying, why are ladies trying to commit when they see these guys have 7 through 15 kids? Why are you signing up to be number 16? Why? I believe in 2022 that we are reaching a new level of everybody's trying to hold everybody accountable for the decisions that they make. It's not just about the women. Women are tired of hearing about the women, but women have been on TV talking about men like since I've been a kid. Like that's all I've heard. Men ain't this, all men are dogs, and yada yada yada, whatever. Hip hop talk more about women, but that's hip hop. I didn't grow up listening to hip hop, so TV talk shows and oh yeah, all I heard was how men ain't this and how men ain't that. But let's keep it going. Let me find the next marker because she 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 basically hold on.
You. And his mama ain't a virgin. And everybody's mom, especially single moms, there was always an uncle that nobody ever seen before that came up on Christmas morning, and all of a sudden you had all these gifts from a new uncle. People don't even think about all the dicks they're you.
I'm glad that my mom and dad stayed married 30 something years. I never had an uncle. Um, never. So kudos to my parents. They're divorced now, but no uncles.
Because you're laughing because you had
No
you had an
extra
uncle you didn't know
uncles.
about. Like, who was this Uncle Troy all of a sudden? Because your mom was having sex, bro.
Yes.
Your mom was doing all the things. All the things. None of this shit matters. It's all about ego. It's all about ego. And them not wanting to be rejected. That sexual education allows you to see and to know what's out there for you. And when you know what's out there for you, you choose better. Because trust me, I've seen penises and been like, in the moment, be like, nah, I'm good. Thank you, though. Now I make them send me penis pics ahead of time. Like, just send me a picture of your penis, bro. I'm celibate, but I still want to see it. And if it's tiny, I don't even want to talk to you because this isn't going to go.
So once again, once again, once again, body count matters. And she's teaching this, and it's crazy because I have two daughters, and I'm married. Uh, you know, it's and it's crazy to think that now, because she's had so many experiences, that's her first criteria, right? Now it's send me a dick pic, and if you are lower than this, I don't care about your character, I don't care about your finances, I don't care about your status, I don't care about none of that. This is the limit. Boom. You know, I'm not going to talk to you. And that's that's okay. People that want to live their life that way, like that's okay. I don't even care. But you got to realize that in the same time that you're saying go out and have as much sex as you want, go see all the dicks in the world, but you're also saying in the same interview how you disqualify men based off of all these sexual experiences that you've had. It's like, yo, you're doing what the men have been talking about the whole time. Body count matters. Like, but it matters for everybody, not just for women. It matters for men too. Like, and I'm glad that you did touch on something that I'm about to play right now. Now, let me find it. Let me see. All right.
They'll look
Let's get.
for the like inexperienced and virginal women, right? So you're looking for, the quintessential or stereotypical, like church marm kind of a girl. Like she's a good girl, right?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you though. Church girls ain't good girls no more. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I grew up in the church. Like, listen. I haven't met very many quote unquote good church girls. I keep looking at this camera while she looked. I haven't met too many good church girls. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be. I I went to school with these girls that I went to church with. They act like they never even went to church. I don't even know where that stereotypes come from because in the last 20 years, things done changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's on another episode. I got some I got some issues with the church, but we're gonna get into that later.
Right? Quote unquote, big air quotes on that. So let's say now his name is Sam. Sam gets the good girl. She hasn't been with anybody. She's waiting until marriage. So he marries her. The problem is, Sam has not been waiting. Sam has been, since high school, sowing his wild oats. Now he knows what he likes sexually. He's into some pretty freaky stuff.
Okay.
Okay? Sam likes all kinds of things. There's toys. He wants to be tied up. He likes to do things. He likes anal. He likes this. He likes that. His wife doesn't do that because she's a virgin upon marriage. This is the only penis she's ever seen, so she thinks it's amazing, but she doesn't know how to do any of the things he likes done.
Okay.
Okay, and they're
Makes
all
sense,
foreign to her.
Yeah.
So when he goes into like, oh, well, let's do anal, and she's like, what? I was just a virgin 2 weeks ago before we got married. Now you want to do all kinds of things to my body. Like she's not there yet. So Sam's gonna go out and get somebody who is there already, who can do all the things he likes. And he's into some wild things. Most people are into some pretty freaky shit. So now he's cheating on his wife. And now you have a problem. Because now you have a wife who you're married to, obviously, and then there's children, then there's a house, and there's 50-50, and then there's a divorce court, and now you're losing everything you built, all because you didn't marry the kind of woman you should have married in the first place, which is a woman that's gonna knock your socks off every day when you come home from work. Marry the...
Now, we know how life goes. If you talk to a lot of attorneys and a lot of men, sex kind of goes down the tube, especially after not like all the way down the tube or like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean everything you see it on YouTube all the time. Kids. You know, kids, especially after the second one, like in most cases, they it puts a strain on sex life until they're a little bit older. I mean, it's just life. So her telling young men marry the slut, well, that's all good till kids come around, and then you have to make time for kids, and kids are tiring, and this day and age, people don't keep up with their health, and they drink and they smoke too much, and they don't have the energy for the kids in the home and work and sex and all these different type of things. Like that's a different ball game. Marriage is a different ball game. But the fact that she said, "Well, Sam marries his virgin and he hasn't been waiting," uh, once again, body count matters. Body count matters, and whether two people get together first, it and they experience that and they grow together from that. That's kind of how it's supposed to be. But in America, it's become something different to where women don't like virgin men. So men have to get the experience because women aren't virgins themselves. It's more male virgins than it is women virgins. I can almost say that just from my experience. I know a lot of people, um, and and that's what we're coming to, right? And instead of everybody just trying to go get all this sexual experience, she calls it education. It's experience. Um, it's it's basically like this culture saying virginity is not an option. Celibacy is kind of not an option. Abstaining from sex until marriage is not options anymore. It's like everybody wants to go smash everything And then when it comes time to come back for marriage, you want the purest thing that you can find. Yo, this whole thing is backwards. Like this whole thing is backwards. Everybody wants something pure after you trash yourself out. Body count matters for everybody. Um, and I'm one of them type of people like to where when you go deeper into this interview, and she says that well, men don't have these terms, and nobody calls men sluts, and then I'm that guy. I'm that guy that just I and people always call me weird. Like, no, 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 no. I mean, yeah, like to me, it's no difference. You could be a guy whore, like you could be a man whore, just like you could be a woman whore. It doesn't matter if you're reckless with your body and you think that it's not going to catch up one day. And all that she is really saying is, yes, I had my fun. I've kissed all the frogs, quote unquote. I've smashed all the dicks. Now I know what I want and what I don't want. Okay, that's cool for you to advocate for that to other young women is reckless advice because by your own admission, now before you even give guys a chance, send me a dick pic. This is the craziness that is America. Like all this freedom we have, and we managed to say, use your 20s and your 30s, go trash yourself out. Find out what you really like. Find out what's all out there. And then when you come back, now you know what you don't like. But and the same thing goes for men because guess what? As many people that don't want to admit it, all vagina is not good vagina. It's just not. I don't know what I don't know uh how this whole narrative, came in. I mean, just like it's, all types of, penises in the world. It's a lot of different vaginas in the world. There's, I don't want to get all the way into it because I'm married and I don't want to dive into it. But me and my wife had this conversation about like how everybody thinks. Ac- As a matter of fact, me and my wife had this conversation. All vaginas are not good vaginas, and some women just think that they have it and they don't. Uh, uh, um, it- there's some vaginas that are different sizes in length and in how wide they are. There's some dry vaginas. There's some cold vaginas. There's some warm vaginas. All vaginas are different, right? And your object is really not to bounce around. It's like I know more women trying to bounce around to see how many dicks it is in the world than men trying to figure out how much pussy is in the world. Now, you're gonna have those ones. You're gonna have those guys that's gonna try to knock down everything that they can find. But I'm gonna be honest with you. These are conversations that we have behind closed doors. Like, bro, you knocked her down? Like, huh? Like, come on, man. Like, for real? You knocked that down? You could have kept that to yourself. That ain't nothing to be proud of, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, men have these conversations behind closed doors. Men haven't had a talk show to talk about this stuff. We haven't really been on like YouTube is where men can tell all because even up until then, it's like Facebook has really been like pretty much driven by women. So is Instagram. So is Twitter. So it's like there's conversation that happens behind closed doors to where it's like women don't know that they happen. But guess what? If a man goes and and he has all these sexual experiences and then he disqualifies women based off of how her vagina feels and how well that she can give head and whatnot and all these things. It all goes back to what I said in the first place. Body count matters for everybody. And if everybody's just going and they're racking up all these miles, and but then you have women talking about where all the good guys at, and I can't find a good man. And then you have the men talking about, yo, there ain't no good women, and I can't trust these women because all these women and all this and all that. It's both sides are just complaining at this point instead of taking a reset and everybody start giving good advice. Everybody's getting like giving bad advice. Everybody, the red pill men and the red pill women, if y'all claim to be red pill, I don't really know. Everybody's giving the most trash advice. Like, and it's mind boggling because it's like, that's just like telling somebody to go get a credit card and don't pay it back. And then when it's time to buy a house and that $500 credit card done racked up so much interest and it's on your credit report, and now you can't buy a house because now that $500 done turned into like $3,000 because somebody else bought the debt and added on uh more money and more interest in, you know, it's no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, and that's becoming the major problem. Everybody's so in a rush to let me kiss all the frogs or smell all the flowers, and then once I've done this, I can pick the exact one that I want. But guess what? Those dicks and those vaginas are attached to people with different characters, right? And guess what? You may find the exact dick that you want. You may find the exact vagina that you want, but it could be attached to somebody that's not good for you. Period. It could be attached to somebody that you can. I mean, listen, listen. You can have the best sex in the world, and that guy could be beating your face in, but you stay coming back just because of the sex, and he's probably cheating on you too. Your girl can have the best vagina in the world, but she disrespects you in front of people. She undermines your manhood. She cheats on you, but you'll stay because oh man, she got the best wop I ever had. Listen, at some point, our minds and our bodies have to evolve from just that point because we're trying to reverse engineer a connection, putting sex first. It's not going to work like that. It hasn't been working like that. I don't know why everybody think that it's going to work like that. I've seen some male channels. I don't know what they're talking about because I'm listening to some people. I'm like, that's not going to work. I've seen a lot of female channels and people talking and they're talking. And I'm like, that's not going to work. The only thing that conversation like this bring is a lot of a lot of recklessness and a lot of regret um, that I see in a lot of people because I grew up around all women. Most of my friends coming up were all women. Um, I know how wild that some of them got. I I know how reserved some of them were back then, and by and large, the ones that were more reserved have been married and they've had kids and they've had happy lives, and the ones that were wilding out, most of them, like I said, what 90% of them are in broken homes and trying to find people and just and they're trying to find love, but now they've had too many experiences and some of them have kids and now it's hard to find love when you have a kid on your hip. um, because we're out here trying to reverse engineer what we want by putting the wrong thing first. Like, but it's been 20 minutes, 25 minutes of me rambling on. If you disagree with what I'm saying, don't be scared to cam up. I've actually been trying to get people to cam up. There's been some people that backed out on me. They don't want to have a live conversation. They rather talk on Facebook. I really don't want to talk on Facebook. I want to talk face to face or as close to face I get. I do have a studio that's in my basement office. That's where I'm in now. Um, but but yeah, I think body count matters for everybody. And until both sides come to the table and actually act like body count matters um, for everybody, and we're not going to keep up with this myth like, oh yeah, men, it don't matter to me. It matters to me too. It's just to me, it matters a little bit. Like it affects women a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Then it affects men, but it affects men too. So, um, hey, holla at me, sign up in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys next time.